Hi guys, it's Tony from My Crazy Life PH, and I'm just giving you a big quick update because I found which visa we actually need, or I actually need, and it is the SRRV, as I discussed in a previous video. The SRRV is Special Resident Retiree Visa, and you have to apply to the Philippine Retirement Agency for this. Right, requirements. You need a valid passport with a valid tourist visa stamp inside your passport. Listen, guys, you get that when you arrive in the Philippines. They stamp your passport. Um, if you've stayed for more than 30 days, you can get it extended, which is another stamp. It's a valid visa. There's no problem there. Next thing is you need medical clearance. Well, you can only get that in the Philippines. I would have thought if I got a clearance from the UK, that's fine, but no. It's got to be from a registered, licensed Filipino doctor. Obviously registered with the PRA. And if you do that, not a problem. I assume there will be a cost to that. I haven't got a clue at the moment. I'm just giving you the basic outlines of what was required. The next thing you're going to need is a police clearance from the UK police. Now you get that through ACRO, which is a criminal records office. This has got to be something called apostilled. So that basically, I think you can get it apostilled from the Foreign Office. It's basically a rubber stamp saying, yes, this is a genuine document. Whether there's a cost to that, I don't know. I'm assuming there would be. The same with the ACRO certificate. I would imagine that as a payment to it as well. Another thing you need, health insurance. So you need a current valid health insurance recognised by the Philippines. In other words, if you get ill, you're going to be covered to use Philippine hospitals. So that makes sense. Most travel insurance have that, to be honest. But you're going to need not travel insurance, but a proper health insurance. You need photographs. Now you need 8 of these. 2-inch by 2-inch photographs. Basically, passport photographs. They've got to be recent and they've got to be of high quality. Listen, guys, you can get them from photo booths in the Philippines. They're everywhere, and that's really not a problem. Now then, costs. So here's the bit that's always kind of sticky for me anyway. So you have to have if you have a pension, this is, you have to have a pension, and it will cost you a deposit of £11,145 for your SRRV. Now it sounds a lot, but from what I've read and what I can understand is that yes, it's quite a big lump. You put it into a Philippine bank account that stays locked away basically. But if you get a long-term rental, or you buy a condo or an apartment, or you're building a house for instance, you can have access to that money. You can use that money. So I'm presuming that is it's showing that you're investing in the country. And if you're investing in the country, the Philippine government is quite happy to let you do so and use that deposit money to do that. The thing is, without a pension, and this is when it gets really quite expensive. So if you're retiring and you haven't got a pension, it's going to cost you £22,290. Yeah, that's going to be locked away in a bank that you can't touch unless you're building a house, or, I mean, the same rules apply obviously. but it's a lot to come up with to put into the bank in the first place. The other thing is there are primary processing fees, and that runs out to about £1,115 at current exchange rates. There is also an annual fee to the SRRV, which I didn't think about. Every year you have to renew this, and the cost at current exchange rates is £268, I believe. So it's not bad. It's what, £20 a month? It's not a huge amount. The one thing I will tell you is that you have to have, if you're going for the pension, which I will be doing, you have to have a pension proof. Now, you get these from the DWP, the Department of Work and Pensions. It's an official letter. Now, all official letters have to be apostolized. I don't know how much getting apostolized is. I also don't know how to really do it. I understand you can get it through the Foreign Office, but all these things obviously take time. I will get back to you on apostolization, how long it takes, how to do it. Probably next video we'll look at those. But, you know, guys, if you're enjoying this video and you're finding it informative and you want to follow me on my journey, or perhaps you fancy moving to the Philippines when you retire and you want to learn how to do it, or maybe do it a different way, but we're going to be covering as many options as we can. Hey guys, please like, subscribe, hit the notification, and guys, I shall see you next time. Until then, bye.